Hello everyone, my name is Mirna, and on behalf of the Mindalia TV team, welcome to Mindalia live streaming, where thousands of people around the world gather daily to see the lectures and interviews organized by Mindalia TV. Today with us, Angel Ribo, CEO, consultant, TV host, international public speaker, and president of the Wisdom for Kids Foundation, is co-hosting with our very dear Sunny Chase. Sunny is not only the host of this show, but also the host of ABC's Evolutionary Sundays. She is the feature writer and chief strategist for Whole Life Times, the longest running conscious life magazine in America. Sunny is a producer, moderator, and mythbuster, among many other talents. But before starting with them and with our amazing show today, we want to remind you that Mindalia's mission is to share information that can help raise the level of consciousness around the world. You can help us by subscribing to our channel, leaving us a positive comment down this video, or sharing it with someone that you know that is going to benefit of the content that we're going to be talking here today. Also, if we are live streaming, we have the active chat, the screen you're going to be seeing here on my side or under the video, in case that you are following us from a smartphone, and through there you can interact with us. We want you to collaborate with Mindalia with your own valuable content. And for that, you can go to our website. On the top, you are going to find the link, says Collaborate with Mindalia. That link takes you to a form that you can fill out, and our technical team will be getting in contact with you. You can collaborate with Mindalia in English through Mindalia TV English, but you can also do it in Spanish through Mindalia Televisión, and Portuguese through Mindalia Televisao. Visit our different channels and platforms, and please follow us, because with that, you are not only helping us reach as much people in the planet as possible, but you also keep yourself updated with the amazing information that we share there on a daily basis. We're not going to delay this any further, and I have now the great pleasure of introducing Sunny Chase and Angel Ribo. Guys, welcome to Mindalia live streaming. The screen is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mirna, for the introduction, especially today. So thank you for being here for us, and thank you for being here for these special people that we have from so far away in the planet. So thank you, everybody. Welcome back, Sunny. Great to have you here with us. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well today. I am so excited to be doing the show that we're going to be doing, which we've been planning for quite a few months, and now we're finally being able to have a conversation with the San Bushman elder, Lace Kruger, excuse me. And I want to let people know, I know many people know of the Bushmen and they've heard of the Bushmen, but what many people may not understand, I'm actually quoting from a lot of research that I've done. And also, Angel, as you know, my family, we lived in Africa and spent some time with the Bushmen in the Kalahari and in Botswana. So it's all very dear to my heart. And being with the Bushmen, it's such an example. I mean, they are, well, the easiest way to say it, I mean, and it sounds bombastic and amazing, but it's actually true, that I'm going to read a little bit from a book, and I'm going to tell you what this book is in a minute. They carry the secret in their blood. They are the oldest on earth, the birthplace of every human being alive. The San Bushman research shows that they are that every color, creed, and nationality alive comes from them. Their social structure is based on collaboration, where decisions are made by universal discussion and agreement by consensus. An individual's expertise and experience carries weight accordingly. And the importance of women is very high, with opinions often taking precedence. There is so much that I can say. There's one other thing that I want to read, a quote. The original way to tracking God, what may be called original spirituality, is surprisingly found through embracing wild laughter, syncopated rhythm, and ecstatic love, which is one of the ways that the Bushmen go to God or be with God. And in general, I guess what we're saying is that the Bushmen, their way of life, what they know, for we in the sacred community and the spiritual community, is exceedingly, exceedingly sophisticated. the things that they can do, I mean, we're talking like, you know, the Dalai Lama, the most ascended masters. I mean, things that we only imagine in our minds that are possible. So we may look at people and think, okay, it's you know, they're different from us, but honestly and truly, they are the first and last way of going to God, tracking our way to God, and they are going extinct. So to have this message today, we're going to be getting so much information about, you know, just about our sacredness and our spirituality, and what the Bushmen are so generous in wanting to give the Westerners the keys, the secrets, the tools to find our way into our center, connecting with God. And so that's sort of the purpose of today. So I think that without further ado, I would like to bring on our beautiful elder son, Bushman woman, Liz Kruper, and her interpreter, Nanette. So welcome to Mindalia.
I can see them. I don't know what happened. I cannot see them. Can you see them now?
Thank you very much.
You can? Okay.
Yeah. So what, Nanette, is there something that Liz would like to say as an opening to us, or a greeting in any way?
Sy sê sal jy iets wil vir hulle groet of
Uh-oh. Have we frozen?
I don't know what's happening. But for some reason,
it looks like they froze. Shoot.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna try to get out and get back in. Okay.
Okay.
So
you're fine, and I don't know. Are we?
Let me see.
Thank you. It looks like they may be having just a little bit of a maybe connection issue.
Okay.
But most likely we just can wait really quick until the signal comes back in. And Sonny, I was hearing what you said about the Bushmen, and it sounds completely amazing. You actually lived in Africa, right? When you were a child, and you had the chance of knowing them up there.
Yes. There we are. I think we're back. Okay, good.
Perfect.
I was going to ask you, Liz asked, can she say it in her traditional language, and then she'll tell me what she said, and I'll translate it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So was there something that she wanted to say? Yes.
Is daar iets wat jy spesifiek vir hulle wil sê? Jy kan maar in jou taal ook praat, as net om oop te maak.
Dink kwestie, kada kung tris kumi, kung kaibat kada ko trit. At net dink kwestie mi du, daw da kung kari. Ida kan nebe tris ado ay. Ida kan tutaw kang kari.
Weet my wat jy gesê?
Ek het gesê, ek het 'n lang pad gery om hier te kan wees, om dit te deel, en ek hoop ons sal een hart vorm, sodat as ek teruggaan, dan weet ek het harde werk agtergelos, en die vrouens wat ek hier kon ontmoet is baie vriendelike mense, en hulle maak my happy, en ek voel om baie te deel met hulle, en want ek voel hulle is sterk vir ons, so ons moet die pad vorentoe stap. Dankie.
What I was saying is that I've traveled a very long distance to be here, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm hoping with this interview we can form one heart, so that we can speak from our heart, and that we can walk our way forward, because I can tell you, I'm here amongst a group of women that are filling me with so much strength and goodness. So I hope I can share some of this with you as well.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, is there something in the Western world we are very disconnected from nature, from even in communities sometimes? And is there something that Lace can share with us about how the Bushman tribe stay connected to each other as a community?
Wat sy vra, sy sê, jy weet die westerse wêreld is baie is weg van die natuurlike wêreld af en met die natuur en met God. Is daar iets wat jy as 'n Bushman vrou vir die wêreld kan sê hoe om weer daai koneksie te maak tussen jou en die aarde en God?
Sorry. Ek het baie voorstel om by die punt uit te kom, want ek was 'n jong kind toe my grootjies hulle begin hoe sal ek die woord noem, dat het gekos om, dit was maar 'n struggle, 'n harde struggle gewees om kan weer in die geestelikheid en natuur en my visie om weer kan dit leef, toe my grootjie sterwe was ek 13 jaar oud gewees en ek moes sawer van in die tyd wat ek nog goed geword het, was dit toe ek my slim gekry toe sit met my grootjies al tussen wit mense werk en ek weet hoe ek geboren groot geword, maar reg om te sê dit was, ek het net gevergeet wat hulle my gegee het nie. Ek het met dit geleef tot ek 40 jaar was. Toe sien ek om myself te bevorder en wat ek binne in my het, moet ek die groepie wat ek nou leef, die tradisionele groepie wat ek nou leef, daar is 'n ander manier. Ek het nie 'n pa nie, ek het nie 'n man, ek het nie 'n oupa nie, ek het ook nie 'n ouma nie. So ek moes daardeur druk om daarin te kan groei, om kan my kultuur en my tradisie en my erfenis kan op te tel. So ek is 'n sterk vrou en ek het geglo ek gaan dit deur en reg ek is daardeur en ek het gegroei tot sover ek nou 50 jaar oud is, maar ek het deurgedruk tot sover ons is net 'n klein klompie gewees, maar ek het geprobeer om kan my tradisie op te tel en ek is bly daarvoor en ons het gegroei en ons is nou 'n breë gemeenskap, maar ek lê nog in my gemeenskap en ek het so gevorder dat ek al het my gekies as 'n gemeenskap komiteelid en ek is nog vandag, ek werk nog daaraan.
Ek gaan jou nou antwoord, maar sy wil weet hoe jy dit gedoen het. Wat is dit hoekom net? Lace is answering you with a part of her story. She says, for her life has been quite difficult because her ancestors and her grandmothers and grandfathers, when she grew up, she was 13 when they all passed on. So, and at that time, they were kicked out of the park and they were already having to work for farmers in the area and so forth. So she had to hold on very strong to her culture and who she is and what she is. And then she realized there was no other way. She had to take up the custodianship of looking after her community. And at the age of 40, she had to take this whole thing very, very seriously because her community was now in dire straits. So she took all her strength and all her power to hold on to her culture, to hold on to who she was and what she was, to push through it all. And now at the age of in her 50s, she's now at a place where she's strong, and she's chosen as a community leader, and she's looking at, it was a small group that she was carrying, and now they are a broader community that she's supporting. I have now asked her to please say how that connection, how did she hold on to that?
Beautiful. So, oh, go ahead. Yeah. So you're asking her that?
Yes.
Ja, kyk, en dan dink ek het geweet wie ek is en hoe ek kyk, ek is 'n persoon, ek is so 'n persoon. Kyk, ek is 'n, daarom God het my 'n ander visie gegee, want hy wys my die pad, hy wys my die lig, en ek is dankbaar daarvoor dat ek sien ek kan sien.
So I'm extremely thankful because God has shown me a vision. He has given me the light. He has shown me the way. So I keep on connecting to God to see my path forward. So that is where I'm at.
So the connecting to God is something that everyone, I think, who tunes into Mindalia TV, and any of my listeners on any of my shows, I feel is a daily practice, perhaps a moment by moment practice. And when I read about, again, you know, my family was there, and when the movie The Gods Must Be Crazy came out, people didn't really think that it was possible that people could be that beautiful, that loving, that pure, that innocent. And I said, oh yeah, they are this way. This is, I mean, I know it's a movie and stuff, but the Bushmen are really, really like this. And so it breaks my heart, and I feel so honored to be here to bring the Bushman message to the West, because we really don't know it. We just don't know it. So the connection to God, when I read, and I know that it's really about, you know, connecting, honoring the animals and the plants. The Bushmen are about 80% vegetarian, depending on what's going on. I know that, you know, the sacredness in which, where we all come from. I'm just so honored to be here with you and to talk a little more about that. So as far as how, you know, what perhaps message that Lace has for us, as far as in these modern times, what, you know, even simple things that we do in our lives that might make a difference. Even though they're big to them, they would be big to us too.
So wat sy sê is, jy weet, die aarde is wat is en sy weet, sy praat van Gods Must Be Crazy en hoe spesiaal en al daai goed is. Maar wat sy by jou wil weet is, dit is so, ons moet aan God connect, jy weet, ons moet daar wees. Maar as jy kan vir die westerse wêreld 'n boodskap gee, as jy hulle kan sê hoe om dit te doen, of wat is dit wat hulle kan doen om hulle sterker te maak, of om hulle lewe te verander. She says I must ask the question again. So sy weet, sy verstaan hoe spesiaal julle is en die plante en sy het selfs die Gods Must Be Crazy gesien, en mense het haar gevra, is dit waar, is hulle regtig so mooi en so onskuldige mense en so aan, so sy weet daai. Maar sy vra, as jy 'n boodskap kan hê, as jy vir moed, as jy vir die wêreld kan moed gee, wat se moed sal jy vir hulle?
Maar ek gaan nie wêreld gaan ek die Vir my is dit as ons die liefde het met mekaar en ons praat met mekaar en ons deel met mekaar en as jy meer deel met mekaar, dis wat jy vind vir mekaar. En saam, om saam te praat en saam te besluit, dis 'n lewe vir my, want dis hoe ek goed geword het. En jy moet bly soos 'n broer en suster. Broedersliefde, susterliefde en meer met mekaar deel. So ek soek vrede op aarde. Ek weet die wêreld so gechange, maar jy moet daardeur, maar jy moet jou ook beskerm.
Jy moet kom. So she's saying it's about love. It's about love for each other. It's about a brotherly love, a sisterly love. It's about sharing with each other, because the more we share, the more we know about each other, and the more we can love each other. She knows the world has changed, and but to her, she wants peace on earth, and the only way we're going to get peace on earth is if we talk with each other and we realize that it's about love, and that we make decisions together. We talk about decisions and we make decisions together, and that's the only way that she can see that we can go forward.
Well, people out there in Mindalia TV land may not know this, but the Bushmen have been on the earth for 60,000 years. So it's so amazing for us to understand that. And there's something else that I wanted to read that that the ancient rock art indicates that they have been practicing an extraordinarily potent form of spirituality for over 60,000 years. What the Bushmen have practiced over all these years is critically important knowledge that could benefit the rest of the world as it faces today's challenges. And in the Kalahari Desert, Botswana, all around that land, they have, of course, as we know, mind-boggling tracking skills, and so many ways that, you know, we live our lives in the Western world that are so much easier than the Bushmen. And so I have so much reverence and love for the fact that you're still here with us, and to be able to be so generous and knowing that we need your message. We really do need it, and we crave it, and we want it. And that's, I think, some of the reasons that the world is kind of where it is. It's like we're just grappling for the next level. And so it's, you know, we're sort of creating chaos because we are just, it's like we've been complacent for a long time, and we definitely need to get to our next level, if it's above us, below us, in us, through us, all around us. And so I feel like we are at such a crossroads. So does Lace feel that too? And do we, where do we, you know, sort of, where do we go from here? I mean, I think what I really want to ask is, there are secrets that, as far as even the Bushmen with plants and animals that, you know, or with sacred spirituality. So those are sort of two different questions. So I would say love, 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 yes. And maybe how sacred behavior in our lives, perhaps with animals and plants. And, you know, all of nature.
Okay. Sy hoor wat jy sê van die broederlike liefde en van al daai goed. En dan vertel sy nou meer van die, I'm just bringing her up to date what you said with the English.
Thank you.
Dan sê sy al wat jy weet, wat sy nou weet van die rotskuns en so aan. Maar as daar iets is wat jy kan deel met jou verhouding met die diere en jou verhouding met die plante, wat heilig is, jy weet, want dis die twee goed wat belangrik is in julle lewe. So as jy kan praat van die plante en die diere en wat is heilig vir julle daaromtrent, sal dis wat sy vir jou vra of as jy vir hulle kan vertel wat dit is.
Nou, kyk, baie, kyk, ek as 'n kind, ek het in die natuur te groot geword. En om in die natuur groot te word, as jy nie die plante, die medisyneplante, jy moet respect, jy moet medisyneplante, jy moet jou dier, moet jy so 'n groot respect het, sodat hy kan vir jou ook respect het. Jy moet hom as 'n dier is soos 'n mens. As jou hart donker vir hom is, dan maak hy toe, dan is hy swart. Maar as jy binnekant vir 'n diertjie lig het, dan maak hy lig. So, 'n dier is 'n skoon ding, net soos 'n mens. So, jy kyk hom nou as 'n niks aan nie, maar as jy leef met hom, kan jy sien, hy is soos 'n mens. Dis hoekom, het lewe is, maar vandag vir my bietjie swaar, want ek kan nie my leefstyl kan ek nie uitbeoefen die, want ek is nie eintlik by die plek wat ek gebore en groot geword het. Is bietjie vir my seer, maar ek moet die grond wat ek nou bly, ek moet hom maar nou aanvaar. Maar dit het moes dan so gekom, ek moet 'n permit moet ek vandag uitreik om kan in die kultuur kan ingaan, om die is baie hartseer, weet jy, as ek nou by die grond wat ek nou is, ek moet nou by iemand gaan, hy moet nou vir my 'n permit uitreik, sodat ek kan binne in die Galagadigens Transfrontierpark ingaan, dan moet ek nou vandag 'n permit hê om kan 'n bietjie gaan leef met die diere. Maar hulle het geprobeer, maar in die tyd wat ek groot geword het, hulle was soos ek, mak. So 'n diersoort is, jy kan praat met hom.
Okay. So what Lace is saying is it's about respect. It's about respecting your medicinal plants. It's about respecting the animals, because to them the animals are like people. If you come with light in your heart to them, and even your medicinal plants, they will come with light in their hearts to them. It's difficult for Lace at this stage, because on the land that they're living now is a farmland. And if they want to go into the sacred land and the park where she was born and raised, they need a permit to go onto their land. So it's difficult for her. And the animals at this stage have been chased or have had bad experiences with humans. When they grew up, there was a tameness about the animals. There was a mutual respect. There was a different relationship that they have, that the animals have now. There was I don't know how to explain this magic, but that is what used to happen. So they used to have a very sacred and a special relationship with their medicinal plants and with their animals. So that is what she's saying.
Oh, so it is possible. This is what I understand. This is what's heartbreaking and fascinating at the same time. In other words, for us to understand, I mean, something that I like to bring to our listeners all the time and our viewers is that things are possible. And often in our world, we are manifesting, we are thinking of creating something very, very big. And what I often find is that we've had a lot of these things already here. So it's not about manifesting it somehow out of nothing. That the fact that the Bushmen have lived in, what I'm getting from you, you're saying that the Bushmen had such a relationship with the animals, even the fierce ones that we may be afraid of, that there was such a respect that they wove together beautifully in life. And I think that is something that we can't even imagine, I think, at this point. But maybe we can imagine it if we know it already has been. So that, I think, is absolutely stunning. And of course, it's heartbreaking that it is no longer. But again, we can't.
I can tell you an amazing story about one of Lisa's elders that I got told. There was a ad being done with lions that were in trailers, and Antas, one of Lisa's family members, she has now passed on, made a friend of mine stop, and the female was on heat and the male was very agitated and so on, and so was the female. And Anta stopped there and she said to my friend Eleanor, just wait a moment. And she went up to the female and she started singing a song. And the next moment, the female became all in love with her, that the male got irritated with her and was lying on her back. So just this song, tamed, and the females are the hunters. And just this song placated this whole female, that she became all kitten-like. So that is a good example of what we're trying to talk. Yeah.
So we really are, yeah. And when we think that the Bushmen have been here for 60,000 years, and I mean, all of what has gone on, all of that time, it's kind of astounding. I mean, I think it's kind of boom for us to even realize that. I would like to also ask, what, if it's possible to even say, because it's so sacred, but the relationship with God for the Bushmen, how that is, and yeah, I don't want to speak too much. I'd rather hear you speak.
So, sy is nou, ek het die storie vertel van Antas en die leeu wat sy so vaak gesing het. Maar wat sy wil weet is, sy wil meer weet oor die verhouding met God. Hoe is dit vir julle? Wat 'n rol speel dit vir julle?
Man, nanya berarti sudah berbeda. Asa Busman vrou. Jy weet, in die tyd ek gebore en groot geword het. En wat ek by my met my grootjies gesien het, hulle het geweet, kyk, God is daar. En soos ek self, ek hoef nie 'n kerk toe te gaan nie, maar want ek het God binne in my. So, as ek sit en ek sien hoe, as ek nog in die donker loop en ek het niks om my te beskerm nie. In my pad is miskien 'n skeperjoen, miskien 'n slang, miskien kan 'n leeu teen voetpad lê. Wie beskerm my? As net God wat my beskerm. So, ons mense, my grootjies, het met God binne in hulle geleef. Dis hoe ek dit het binne in my.
So, how I can explain it to you is to live with God inside of you. I can walk on the path, and there might be a scorpion, there might be a snake, a lion might be lying too close to the footpath. Who will protect me? What I got from my elders and and my ancestors, but specifically of my elders, is it's to live with God inside you. And when you live with God inside you, that's the only way to do it.
Well, we're learning more and more in many of the religions that we have in the Western world. We're praying to something outside of ourselves and trying to connect with something outside of ourselves. And now we're really evolving in the Western world to realize it is within. And so I think that's such a beautiful message for us. And when we walk the path that way, then I feel like the scorpions and the lions will be our friends. In whatever part of the world that we live in, we all have scorpions and lions that cross our path occasionally, and beautiful things as well. I want to, for a minute, also allow our listeners and viewers to know that what is happening, I mean, if we can imagine that we have the most sacred people in ever on this earth, and where we all come from. Indeed, it is true. We all come from the Bushmen. That is the truth. And that the Bushmen, the quality of life has been challenged so much between the governments around the areas, the weather, so many things. As we know, there was a drought, a really huge problem with water in Cape Town and everything. I think it was last year and the year before. So things are getting very dire. And I want to allow our viewers to be able to participate with the Bushmen and like that. So other than money, which is always good, but I mean, I know money is needed. Is that, and if we were to give money, what does that actually do?
So sy besef die aarde verander en julle leefstyl verander en so aan verander. Sy vra, ja, sy hoor geld is vir julle belangrik, maar sy wil weet hoe anders kan hulle help? Met hulle by julle kom kuier, hoe anders kan hulle help behalwe met geld?
Behalwe met geld, kyk, vandag is dit so. As ek die natuur het geleef het, dat ek nie vandag omgedraai en om geld gekyk. Maar vandag is dit so, jy kan niks kan jy sonder geld doen nie. Maar as hulle kan gaan tot by ons en kyk hoe ons leef, sal dit nog vir my beter wees van as ek nou sien, as ek self as 'n Bushman, sit maar vandag daar sê uitkoms vir my nie. Steeds, ek sê nog vir my gemeenskap, ek moet nog steeds vandag as struggelaar bly, want ons het grond gekry, wat het ek, tensy ek uit my tradisie, dis net my tradisie wat my vandaglik leef, maar daar is hier 'n beter lewe vir my nie. So, as hulle vandag na dit kan kyk, want dis hoe ek sê, ek hoef vandag uit die vandag se lewe as 'n ander lewe, so ek moet ook maar saam gaan met die lewe, maar om by myself te kom en my leefstyl te sien wat ek is, dat sal ons weer verstaan.
What Liz is saying, we can't talk past it. If we were still living in the times previously, and they lived out from nature as they used to do, then money was not a question. What you can say is that if people come and visit them and see them, because life for them is still a struggle. They are not on their land. Her circumstances under which they live, and so forth, is hard. So if people could come and people could experience life with them and see what it is like, and see how it is, because how other can she make a living as by with her tradition? She has no other means to live as else than to live by a tradition. So he thinks it would be good for people to come to them and to see how they live, and they can show people about the plants or the animals and so forth.
Okay. Is there something that we can also do as activists with the government of either South Africa or Botswana to assist the Bushmen in their ways in getting either back to the land or whatever it is that the Bushmen want? Can we assist them that way?
Sy vra is daar, sy hoor wat jy sê. Sy sê is daar iets met die regering of iets wat hulle kan doen met wat julle ook kan help om julle meer op die land te kry of so, is daar iets wat hulle ook so kan doen?
Man, kyk, government help vandag, maar hoe help jy my as ek niks sien nie? Dis hoe ek sê, ek het grond, maar daar's net 'n ontwikkeling vanaf tot sover. Dis net hand na die mond. Daar is iets wat ek kan sê, ek kan dit bereik vir myself en vir my gemeenskap.
Maar as jy kan droom, wat sal jy sê? Wat wil jy sê, hoe kan hulle?
My droom, ek hoef nie te besit nie, maar om net 'n beter lewe te kan hê vir my nageslag, sal ek beter voel, maar ek bedoel moet ek government praise of wat nie, maar ek sien nie lewe nog nie.
The government says they're helping us, but there's development in certain areas. It's not for us. It's not helping us as we think we can help. I don't want a lot of money. I just want to know that my children and my grandchildren and my tribe that comes after me, they can be okay. So I can't praise the government. I can't say that they have helped me, because if I look at my circumstances, they are still the same. They are not really changing.
Well, that sometimes with governments they get in, it depends on who's in office and things like that. So I know, being the activist that I am, that sometimes it takes patience, and but I am concerned, and I think we all should be, because the land that the Bushmen had to them, that they were able to enjoy, was their land. For sort of, we have a situation here in America with the Native Americans, and it's a similar situation. And I know that now the Bushmen never had alcohol. They don't have the situation to even deal with that, and then alcohol was kind of brought in, drinking alcohol, and so that's caused a lot of problems. It's a similar, there are elements of similarity there, and I feel like we can step up if it's even, if it's even in our prayers and knowing. I think that's important, and coming to visit would be amazing, and that would be in South Africa, the Kalahari Desert, Botswana, Rhodesia, all around there, right? And yet I also feel like there are ways that we can be watching the government or seeing what they're doing, and because is there a way for the land to be returned to the Bushmen, and is it possible in our imagination?
Sy vra, sy kan, hulle weet dit is moeilik, maar dit is ook moeilik met die Amerikaanse inheemse mense. Maar is daar 'n manier wat hulle kan help sodat julle meer op julle land kan kom? Jy weet om dat sodat julle meer van die land kan leef as wat julle nou leef. Nee, is daar 'n manier wat hulle julle kan help om meer op julle grond te kom?
Man om wat is vir my baie hartseerlik want as ek nou soek sit in 'n kyk binne in die Kalahari Transnatuurpark lê my goedjies en ons is as so rood as hulle gestoot, maar as ek dan ek het gebore in God word binne in Kalahari Transnatuurpark. Net my goedjies nou is vir my so hartseer, want hoekom moet ek nou op 'n ander grond gaan sit? Want binne in die Kalahari Transnatuurpark daar was ie vir my, wie ek gebore en groot geword het, daar was ie, ek het in die natuur uitgelewe. En skielik was het net die goede dinge verander. Uit is ons uit die natuur, uit die Kalahari Transnatuurpark uit, toe met my groeit met my pa, hulle onriep met mense werk. Nou, jy weet, as vir my, as ek daar gelief het, dat ek 'n beter lewe gehad, maar dit is, wat ek sê, is baie swaar vir my, want partykeer vandag moet ek moet uit my hande uitlewe, as ek soos ek het nou die gemeenskap het my gekies as 'n CPI-komitee lid, maar wat verdien ek op die CPI? Ek verdien net as ek miskien maandag tot vrydag sit as op R500. Ek het mos hier 'n toelaag wat ek my inkomste as wanneer ek vergaderings het. Maar as ek by die huis kom en ek moet nou die kinders op die R500 gee en sê, gaan kyk wat kan julle koop. Net môre is daar niks. Nou jy weet, as ek in die natuur gewees, het ek geweet, daar is hier om, nou, wil sit in broodpoel sit en braai nie. Ek loop net so in, kyk wat kry hy kom, hy iets wat ek moet versamel, dat kom maak ek, hy bietjie, maar vandag is vir my 'n harde lewe. So,
maar sal julle meer in die park wil wees, dis wat hulle weet.
Ek wil meer in die park wees, regtig is. Want, wat kan ek vir mense toch nog sê, waar ek is, ek kan hulle niks sê nie, was ek die plek waar ek gebore en groot geword. En ek wil iets meer gesê.
What Lacey is saying is, she's talking about the time that they used to live in the park, and that was very special for them. So if you can help, they are part of a land claim. They got land outside the park and they got a small section inside the park. But for them, they live 60 kilometers, so if it's 120 kilometers from their sacred land. They do not have vehicles, they do not have means to get into the park unless they have funding to get into the park. So she's talking about how difficult it is for her, say, if she can work with her hands and make craft and sell it and give to the children and say, okay, here's some money, go and look what you can get at the shop for this. It's not as if she can just walk into the veld, gather some food, make something there or hunt or do something like that. So if it can be that they can visit the park more regularly, that they can get into the park more regularly, and then if visitors come to them, then she can show them where her ancestors are buried. She can show them how they lived. She can show them, but in the farm area where they are now, it's difficult for them to make a living because you need to have money to survive there.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay, so this is something, guys, Mindalia TV listeners, that I'm going to research a little more, because I feel like this is something that is a bigger subject that we can we can get to. And I know that our time is coming to a close a bit. One thing that I also know about the Bushmen is that they don't have the concept of owning land like we do here in the Western world. And again, like the Native Americans, where they sold a huge amount of the United States for $1 because they didn't even, it's sort of like me saying to you, I own this air around me, so you can't have it. Like, we don't think that way. And I know that the Bushmen think of land that way too. It's not about owning, it's impossible. So again, these concepts that we don't necessarily take, or Westerners feel like, we cannot own land. It never has been. Even if we think we're buying a house, it's like, something happens to that land that is not ours, actually. I believe that too. One thing that I feel like I would like to kind of end with is something about the Bushmen that I love so much, and that is the joy, the ecstasy, the dancing, the singing, but really the deep and the big feeling of joy. And it's not, that's the closest word I can come to it. I know I don't really have the best words for it, but if we could speak a little bit about that as sort of an ending, and then I also want to give people, how they can reach you and that sort of thing. But so I would love Lace to chat about joy, ecstasy, that sort of thing.
Ons kom nou aan die einde van die program en sy gaan 'n bietjie navorsing doen oor die park en hoe die hele meer wat in die park kan inkom en so aan. Maar sy sê wat sy onthou in haar hart en wat sy weet van die Busman is die opgewondenheid, die gelukkigheid, die wonder van die lewe. So as jy bietjie meer van dit kan sê van waar kry jy daai gelukkigheid van die lewe, jy weet.
Kijk, dat moet ik zeggen. Kijk, als het mij opgewonder is, wanneer ik in die natuur is, dan, kijk, ik is diep geknees maar. Dus hoe ik wil leven. Ik wil in die natuur wil ik wees van, dus waar je opgewonder komt en baie van my kindertjies vra, want dis wat hulle sien. Want as ek hulle sê, hoe was ons grootjies se lewende omstandighede gewees? Nou vra hulle vir my nou hoekom kan ons ook nie so leef nie? Dis waar ek my gees opbou. Dis waar die geheer terugkom van die grootjies. Nou, daar waar ek bly, as ek so swak, ek kan nie van, selfs as ek miskien op 'n reading sit, nou sit ek, sien ek mos nou, ek kan mos nou so loop, ek is op Busman, ek het die bang hart om in die natuur te lewe nie, want dis soos ek sê, as ek dink klim en sê maar net, hier kom nou 'n leeu, ek kom die eerste ding oor, hier kom hy ook die eerste ding oor, hier ontmoet is. Wat nou? Ek weet hoe om dit te beskerm. Hy is baie kwaai, maar hy slimmer. Ek gaan hom down, laat hy hier binne kom. Later gaan hy so sag wees, want 'n leeu kan maar waar wees, hy kan maar 100 kilometer van my af is, en ek sit nou hier. En ek begin dink, wat moet ek nou doen om weer miskien net die power te bring, so dat daar iets is om my natuur, my familie op te tel. Dan beplan ons miskien, kan ons nie weer vanaand, miskien, kom ons bring vanaand vir die kinders leeu's, kom ons sing. Maar begin sing is. Hy kan maar 100 kilos van my af wees, maar as ek sy song sing, net oor 'n halfuur, dan gaan jy begin hoor. Dan sê dat stil bly mekaar. As een hom gehoor het, sal die een sê, wat het jy gehoor? Hoe jy so songs sing, kom hy al nader. Hy sê net so 5 tree, sal hy hierlas rondom my kom loop. Maar hy sal nie probeer om in te kom nie. Hy is ook gelukkig. So, ek soek net, dis wat ek soek. Ek wil lewe soos my grootjies gelewe het. Want hulle het goeie moed geskep. En hulle, gotcha, dis hoe ek wil lewe.
It's a long story, but she is saying their joy, their happiness is in nature. So she can sit on a dune and look and decide, I want to go to that direction or I want to go into that direction. But if they want some joy, they'll speak amongst each other and say, if they're in the park, and say, what can we do? Let's bring some lions for the children tonight. And then they will start singing, and if it doesn't matter if the lion is 100 kilometers away, they will call them until they're there, and the lion will walk around them like this, but will not touch them, and that joy, that happiness they get of having that power of doing that thing, that is what makes them happy, and remembering how their ancestors used to also have joy in living like this and being like this.
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. So I know that we have to leave, but if there's one last thing that Lace would like to say to me, my family lived with, it was a number of years ago, so probably the little kids are grown up. My brothers and sisters were saying, oh, the little kids we played with are probably adults like we are now. But I just would love to send my love to you, send my love to all of your tribe people. And I just want to thank you so much for being here. And I just seriously feel so honored that we had this moment. I'm looking into your eyes and it just makes me cry. I never thought I could again look into the eyes of an elder bush woman like you. So that's what I'd like to say to you. And if there's anything you'd like to say to me.
Sy sê baie dankie vir die eer dat sy met jou kon praat. Sy is in trane want sy kan in 'n boesmanvrou se oë weer inkyk. En sy en haar broers en susters onthou hoe hulle met die kinders gespeel het en hulle weet die kinders is nou al groot mense. Maar is daar iets is wat jy wil vir haar sê? Sal sy baie bly wees.
Jy weet, om so te sê, ons is soos ek self, ons is mense van vrede, ons is nie mense van geweld, dit is hoekom, wat ek sê, ons het met die liefde, en om met liefde, het ek groot geword, en die, om myself te protect, en om jou te protect, en ons is mense van, ons wil nie iemand seer maak, want dit is hoe ek geboren groot geword het. Ek het met my grootjies, hulle was lief vir mekaar gewees. Hulle het nie sommer hiervoor ons as kinders geweld gebruik nie. Hulle was so, hulle geweld is, ons sal nooit agterkom, daar's 'n geweld tussen hulle. Hulle is mense wat ding al by mekaar kom en praat oor dit. Maar nooit het ek geweld gesien in my trek nie. Dis hoe ek gebore en groot geword het. Nooit het hulle gesê ag vir mekaar nie. In die tyd wat ek gebore en groot geword het. Maar na my grootjie weg is en my pa, my ouma, hulle weg is, om regtig kan waarvoor sê dit is baie hard van my ouma. My pa se ma was destyds, ek was nog seker 'n Bobbejaan gewees. En my ouma was ook in daai, nooit dat sy die voorreg het, of my pa die voorreg het, om kan die jaargetal kan onthou, of kyk, dat is wat ek sê, dis 'n lang storie.
Ja.
Maar my ouma, sy kom ook in daai destydse oorlog uit. Sy was ook in daai geveg gewees, waarvan my ouma sy is deur die sterk geskiet in daai oorlog. Maar my oupa is 'n man of nie, hy het my ouma nie sonder 'n dokter of enige dokter, het hy my ouma binne in 'n gat, het hy my ouma gesond gemaak. Hy het gesorg om daai koel van die geweer uit haar sterk uit. Maar hy moes hom so beskerm, want die gas is nog aan, die geveg is nog aan. Moes hy hom so beskerm. In die nag moes hy 'n gat grawe om my ouma binne in die gat in te sit. En hy kan nie, in die dag kan hy nie beweeg nie. Hy moet net in die nag beweeg. Dan moet hy nou die gat so groot op, moet hy in die nag gaan stokke soek, sterk stokke soek, om so by die gat, so dat dit lê, en so dat dit lê, so as iemand hier op die gat kom trap, kan hy nie dat uit die stokke so neergesit, as iemand bo oor die stokke kom hardop, moet die gat nie inval nie, want dan weet die mense, hulle is daar, en miskien kan hulle doodmaak. Maar my oupa was baie slim geweest. Hy het binne in die gat het my ouma beskerm, en vir haar gesond gemaak. En daarvan af, toe my ouma gesond word, toe besluit my oupa, hier vanaf nie verder nie. Ek gaan nou, nadat ek my vrouwtje moet verloor, hy het hom gezond gemaakt. En hy het hom beskerm tot sy gezond is. Toe besluit my oupa, hier vanaf, gaan ek nie meer weghardloop. Ek gaan in die gat uitgaan, dan gaan ek gaan staan op die roeiding, dat laat my sien. Maar nou kom ons vir my kom doodskiet, maar hier vanaf gaan ek nie verder weghardloop vir enige ding nie. Hier moet hulle my nou maar sien of hulle my doodskiet over. En daar het hy uitgekom, en daar het hy vir hulle gesê, hier vanaf nie verder. Hier gaan na die klompie mense van my wat ek nog op die oor het. Julle het al te veel van my seer gemaak en doodgemaak, so hier vanaf gaan ek net my kinders en my vrou en die bietjie wat ek het, gaan ek verder trek. En my oupa se trek, het hy getrek tot net binne, en ek gaan die transporteerpartner. En daarvoor, as ek sê, sy graf lê daar, almal se graf lê daar, dis hoekom ek sê, ek moet my regtig as 'n vrou, het ek hier gegaan, en ek sê nog als, dankbaar. Vir God het my deurgedra. Dat ek het baie dinge deurgemaak ook, maar ek het hier binne. Het ek skoon gemaak, sodat ek aan die lig kan sien. Maar my trots is, as ek die dag dood, wil ek by my op aan my ouma binne kan gaan die transformatiefbaar begrawe.
Okay, Nanette.
Lace is talking and saying to you about love and protection, and giving you a message of love and protection. And to give you an example of love and protection, she tells the story about her grandfather and her grandmother. And this was during the Nama German War. During the Nama German War, her grandmother got shot through behind through her buttocks, and her grandfather didn't know what to do. So he had to dig a hole, and he put her in the hole, and he put the sticks over the hole and covered it up so that they won't be found. And he doctored her. Instead of losing her, he doctored her and took the bullet out and doctored her, and he could only go out at night, and then during the day they had to be covered, and he had to be very wise and clever to keep the sticks like that, because if something stepped on it, it would fall in and they would be discovered. And when he had healed her, he decided this was it. It was the end of everything. And he got out and stood on the dune, and he thought, I don't care if I'm going to be shot. I don't care what is going to happen, but I am not running away anymore. I am standing here. And he stood there, and I don't know, she doesn't mention if it's normal or the Germans that came. He said to them, here I am. I'm taking my family, I'm taking my wife, and we are moving. But you have killed enough of us, you have chased enough of us, and we are now moving. And it's in that time that they moved into the Kalahari Park, where they lived and where they were buried, and where she would very much like to be buried. And it's from she's gone through a lot of things. She's gone through a lot of heartache, and she had to go through losing her land, losing her elders. And it's not from living in her head. It is from cleaning her heart that she has survived. It's from living from her heart that she has survived, and that's where she comes from. And her only wish is that she will be buried with them one day.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I know that we have to bring this to an end, and I know, Myrna, you're there to help us wrap this up, but I do want to give out any website or any information. And before I do that, I also want to give credit to The Bushman Way of Tracking God by Bradford Keeney. This is a book that I was quoting from a little bit today, but the whole book is absolutely stunning. And also some information from Coral Forti, another author who's written a lot about the Bushmen. So there's lots of information out there to read and be completely inspired by. So I recommend that everybody do that. And then if you have the website you'd like to give out where we can, participate with you.
At this stage, I wil net weet hoe om in kontak te kom. So ek sê nou, Beth het vir haar daai link gestuur van die video. So at this stage, there's no website, but Beth has sent you a link to a video. So all the information is on that link in that video.
Okay, so I'll put that out next time when we do a show. I'll let people know so that they can do that. And then you guys know me. I'm Sunny Chase, and you can find me on ABC Solutionary Sundays on Sunday, and you can Twitter me and do all that stuff. And everything's at Sunny Chase, Chayes, and of course here next Thursday, and at Whole Life Times, and again soon perhaps in the Kalahari Desert. And thank you, bless you, much love to you, many tears for your situation, absolutely, and we pray that all will be lifted up, absolutely. There is a resurgence, I think, in people understanding that keeping things that are sacred are as sacred as should be, and should be honored and revived and held with honor. So again, thank you so much. And Myrna, I know it's your turn to finish us out.
Yes. Thank you, Sunny, for conducting this. Definitely. To Annette and to Lace, you definitely honor us with your presence. We are like beyond blessed by having you. Sunny said that she never thought she was gonna see an elder bushman again, and I never thought I'd ever see an elder bushman ever in my life, and that makes me absolutely happy. I feel completely honored. Thank you for allowing Mindalia being a channel for your wisdom, for your words. Thank you for dedicating time, and thank you for your patience. This is your home. If at any point there is anything we can do for you, we are more than happy to provide you with anything that you can, that we can do to bring your message out there. I dream of a world in which the stories that you were telling us are again current and on a daily basis happening all over the planet. Thank you to our audience. Thank you for following us. And from our heart to yours, we're sending a very, very big hug. And until next time, thank you.